Hi, Nick Tuckert here with the Historical Fencing Guild. Well, folks, I'm about a week out. It'll be the end of the week for my big move. I have to be fully out in 2 weeks. I have the rest of this week before the big press, which means I probably won't be doing a video like I usually do on Friday into Saturday because I'm going to be moving, and I may not be doing one. It'll be a little bit before I am set up down there. So there may be a week with the holidays where I don't know how much I'm going to actually be able to produce. It just happens. But what I can say and what I'm excited about is my new home will have indoor fighting space. So instead of freezing our tuchuses off, sliding around in the snow, we will be able to, if we choose, fight at least short weapons. Not great two-handed swords, but indoors. We'll be able to fight indoors. This is huge. The other thing is I will have space to put out my list field at roughly the size you're used to in the backyard. Meaning, we'll be able to have outdoor fighting as well. This is going to be huge for you. It's going to be huge for me. It's going to be huge for the guild that can make the commute. So there may be format changes. I may do something once a week, but once a month have a big kind of blowout scenario to sort of give more time for people to make the couple-hour drive down. I understand that. But it's going to be worth it. I also will have access to an area that lets me craft, and it's got the way it's set up. There's a table. I have a wonderful spot for the camera. Honestly, it almost looks like an intended TV set for construction, workshopping kind of stuff. So when I'm talking about weapons, when I'm talking about how to do stuff, instead of simply, wedging my phone in an odd angle and going, I may have a place that with slight adjustments, because, real estate in any new home is much vied for, is going to be perfect for shooting certain kinds of videos. I'm excited. I'm really, 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 really excited. And the best part is there's a lot less background stuff, It will just be smooth. It will be nice. I might even begin to try to monetize again. I'm not sure. That didn't go well last time, but we'll see. With the holidays coming up, I'm sure I'll do a holiday video. And I will be doing a couple others in the near future. But, sorry, I'm excited, and I've got so much ahead of me. My brain is just... But okay, before we get any further into that, the other crux of the conversation. Since I can't do a lot of fighting right now, mid-move, whatever, I'd love to answer some questions. And I've asked some people some questions. And, they've gotten back, it's rattled down. I basically left an anonymous box out, like 2 friends, family, etc. Jot down a question. I did it anonymous so that they would ask whatever they wanted to ask. So let me find my list. It's somewhere. Okay, here we go. First question. Nick, who's your favorite swordsman? Okay, that's not fair, because if I'm going to say my favorite swordsman, me, duh. No, okay. Sorry, I had to make that joke. Favorite swordsman in, real, imagined? I mean, it's too broad a question. So I'll break it down to, some of my favorites. I'm a big fan, actually. We'll go, this question's way too broad. I don't have a favorite swordsman individually. I have ones I like. I have people whose style I like. I could go, if I took it to who would I like to train with? Okay, we'll start with like some people that I consider famous. Obviously, I will always say if I have an opportunity to train, do anything with Jackie Chan, I'm always going to put that there. Not because he's a swordsman, although he is. He's so much more. So I'll always throw Jackie Chan up there because anybody who has asked that question and doesn't say that is kind of fibbing. But getting down to bread and butter of it, Anthony DeLongis. He's a stuntman, a swordmaster. He runs Palpable Hit Productions for classical, you know, classical, just amazing swordplay. Uh, and his works, if what I try to do is an elementary school for beginning swordsmen and an adaptive resource, what he does is a master study uh, of historical weapons, especially very more the European. He works with Maestro Ramirez, who is amazing. His work on Destreza, friends. Speech impediment is acting up. Spanish swords fighting. If you have the $149, it won't. That's what it cost me for the first two. I heard there's a third DVD in his series, and Christmas is coming. Anyway, phenomenal for Spanish work. Phenomenal. Uh, Amazing Italian work, but finding good Italian resources is much simpler than finding good Spanish resources right now. But so Anthony DeLongis, Maestro Ramirez, I gotta say Doug Marcaida. And that might seem like a bit of a deviation of a choice because he's much more of a knife guy than he is a sword guy. But what he does translates to sticks, translates to swords. It's it's so fluid and it's so I almost want to say respectful. I watch his videos, I watch whenever he talks to people. This is a very talented, very frankly dangerous person, but he has almost zero ego. He just does his thing, and he's incredibly talented, and he's very calm. And so I aspire a lot to eventually be more like that. But I've got this kind of goofiness that I've just embraced because that's part of me. So the swordman I'd like to see. Least favorite sword fight for a long time. That was the other another question. Jumping. Sorry, I need to jump. Least favorite sword fight in movies. For a long time, it was the Duel of Fates, Episode One, Star Wars. But my reasoning for it isn't necessarily why. I mean, it's not. It's not that it's badly choreographed. It's that it highlights the impracticality of the Sith and Jedi approach very often, especially kind of leading the way through the new movies. And frankly, Darth Maul's this devastating fighter, but there are many open points where he leaves himself wide open because he's spinning, flying through the air backwards, and it's meant as an intimidation. It's meant to split and break people, and actually, he does a lot where one person fighting two has benefit. It really does. I've had to go back over it because of a radio conversation I had with the guys on Nerds After Dark, which is a great program. I haven't been able to catch it lately, but I do recommend anybody who's in Northwest Indiana or is a geeky to go look at that. But the problem is with the way he leaves his back open during the rotations, it starts to get just a touch predictable. And I have a big beef with the way most Jedi fight. And honestly, one of these days when I get proper internet, I'm going to get a line into Swords Age. And we're going to do one of those split screen hangout things. We're going to talk about Jedi sword fighting. You guys have no idea how long we've been at this. It will, percolate. But so that's my problem. I've seen Ray Park. I've watched him a lot. He's another one of those kind of personal martial arts heroes of mine. He's always in these wonderful roles where he doesn't have to talk much. He just has to look really bad, mofo. And it works for him. And he's a little guy, relative, and I respect that. Someone once said, because I had disparaged that, would you spar Ray Park in a heartbeat? I would get my handed to me, but I'd do it in a heartbeat because it would be an educational. And he's actually up there on my list. That's why that movie kind of came full circle. Okay, what else do we have here? Favorite sword fight movie? Wow. Favorite sword fight movie? Hard. There was a version of Count of Monte Cristo that had some of the most intricate, excellent swordplay I've ever seen. Just where you're watching it as somebody who knows what's going on, and I am toward fencing. Okay, that's the fact. The greatest sword fight movie of all time, undisputably, is The Princess Bride. Specifically, Wesley and Indigo on the top of the cliffs. Dread Pirate Roberts, mind you, Wesley mode. But that is the finest fencing filmed movie. That's the peak of fencing filmed in a modern, recognizable movie. So, greatest, yes. Favorite? Yeah. It could be. But I recently rewatched The Three Musketeers. Not the Kiefer Sutherland. No. The 1979 Michael York as D'Artagnan. Oh, phenomenal. Christopher Lee as Rochefort. And Charlton Heston as Richelieu. I mean, not to mention Faye Dunaway as Milady de Winter. And Raquel Welch. Anyway, as Constance. Wonderful film. Even features the gentleman who played Captain Peacock, whose name eludes me, in a little cameo that made my night. But anyway, back to it. The sword fighting in this movie is not good. It is not peak swordsman in perfect conditions. These guys are tripping, they're falling, there's scenery thrown well, scenery thrown badly. There's a lot of comedy, but there's also, as somebody who's fenced for a long time with different sorts, it actually feels more real, which is funny because when you're sparring and you're fighting, things go wrong. People fall down, especially over uneven terrain. I try to keep the list fields flat, for safety's sake. But if you're sparring wherever you are, my gosh. So, look that movie up. There's a sequel. I haven't gotten to sit down and watch it lately. But, so we have that. I think I have time for one more question. This video's getting into the 15-minute range. Favorite sword? Spanish Bilbao. It's a short rapier. It's the one I had on earlier that needs to be restored. Bam. Sorry. Love it. Give me a parry dagger in the other hand and I'm a happy camper. I have a thing about relatively short swords. being relatively short. I'm a hobbit. Give me hobbit weapons, okay? Well, I hope you guys found that entertaining. If you want to ask me anything and have me approach it, comment in the comments. Also, look up HFG-Public. That is my Facebook group that's open, and people can ask me questions. They can ask advice. They try to track me down for what videos should I look for, etc. And most of the guild is on there, so you may even be able to get some crosstalk, which I'd like to encourage. Uh, Other than that, if you like what I'm doing, please like, share, subscribe, ring the little bell. And if you really like what I'm doing and you want to support me, I have two awesome patrons right now, and they give generously, and I am eternally grateful to you two gentlemen. I would very much like any more help because with this move, my finances are strained, and I'd really like to be able to get some more gear. I'm still saving all I can for better camera equipment. I'd like to operate not through my cell phone. Uh, so anything you can do to help would be appreciated. Uh, if you like the way I fight and what I've been talking, more serious videos, look into my book, please. The Simple Sword. It's available on Amazon in ebook and in hardcover. It's a great book. I worked really hard on it. So, other than that, thank you. Support your local swordmaster. I goofed my own tagline, and I'm going to leave it in there because I'm humble and it's funny. Okay, have a good one.